let's talk about psychological safety. I
I
think,
love, as you're pulling this up, I just have to say, I
yeah,
love that we're starting with psychological safety
yeah,
because
yeah,
for me, it is at the core of everything we do. We create a safe environment for people to not just be themselves, but to advocate for what we need to do, right? And it just opens up a whole different dialogue when someone feels safe and feels that I don't like to actually say feel safe when they know they're safe
right.
and they can actually do that. Tell us a little bit more about psychological safety from your vantage point, Kim.
Yeah, so the question on this is, how safe do you feel when you join a new team? And, I always advocate that when a team is forming, they need to spend so much more time than they typically do in the forming stage, right? It's important that people feel safe, they feel trusted. Um, Only then can they really truly feel included in the process and can they speak truth to power and truly get creative, right? Because when people don't feel safe, they're afraid. They're afraid to make the wrong suggestion, right? They're afraid to ask questions. And so it really goes from, a challenging environment to a contributing environment to a learning environment to an environment where everyone feels included and welcome. And I just feel, I tell students, we know the forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning, right? And
Hmm.
I always say the first and the last step,
Hmm.
the forming and adjourning, need to equal the three middle steps. I mean,
Mm.
I think it's so important that this forming stage is much more robust than people typically give it. And I feel like if you spend that time in the beginning, you save so much more time down the line. I mean, it is not wasted time whatsoever. And so I recently heard that there's a CEO, and I can't remember what the CEO's name is right now, but they spend their meetings are a third check-in, a third down to business, and a third checkout. And I just thought that was so cool. Now, does that seem like wasted time? It might seem like that initially, but when you spend that time checking in and getting everybody comfortable and on the same page, you can get your business done so much faster. Would you agree?
I mean, Kim, a question that I'm always asked, right? Especially by CEOs, especially we see this a lot in startup environments, right? It's well, I want my team to feel safe, so I just bring them in and I just say, "Hey, I want you to feel safe. You guys
Absolutely.
can trust each other." Like that's how it's supposed to work, right? And I don't think that it's really that simple.
It
Um,
is not.
and I think that the check-in that you're talking about, right? If the check-ins are done right, it's not, um, hey Kim, how you doing today? Right?
Right.
That to me, that's a great check-in, but we're probably not going to bond over them, right? There may be some good, we used to say, and when I was training salespeople, that's how you get them to believe you and get them to like you is you start finding that actually it's called fake like, right? And
Mm,
so what I will tell people is kind of what I did with you. Who are you? What do you do? If I'm doing a check-in with my team, it's who are you? What's one exciting thing that's happened to you over the last week?
mm.
What's one thing that if you got to address it today or got some help from this team would take your work to the next level? And then I always throw on a question at the end, which is, are there any items that need to be added or deleted from our agenda?
Mm.
Right? But it's that really giving people the ability to talk about something that they're really excited about or proud of, and then what's a struggle and how can we help you as a team when people are able to talk about that, and to do it genuinely, then we're creating that safety by showing our own vulnerability.
Yeah. Yeah, I could not agree more. And if I could just give one example, this summer, or this last summer, we had a meeting with a group from the College of Business, and we hadn't seen each other, in a couple of months. And we had this
Hmm.
meeting, and I decided to do a check-in. And the check-in was kind of going long, and people were talking, and the meeting was an hour long, and we finished the check-in at like 30 minutes. And I was kind of stressing because the dean was there, and I thought, oh my gosh, he's gonna think I'm wasting time, right? But by the time we got to the business at hand, we got all our business done in like 15 minutes. And we had a
Well,
lot of
I,
business to do, but everyone was so comfortable and so ready to
hmm
discuss and solve problems that it just happened so quickly. And that was just such a stark reminder to me on the importance of psychological safety.